Oh, blimey. Gee, that was some nap. Whew. Feels like I've been asleep for months. And I'm in. Wait, where the hell am I? This doesn't look like London. I'm pretty certain New Rochelle is not a station on the London Overground. That's an Amtrak train behind me, right? Okay. Okay, that nap was pretty serious then. Oh, hang on, I've got a note in my pocket. All right, what does this say? You are in New Rochelle Station, New York. Okay, so very much not London, yep. And behind you, you have a very special train to drive. And I'm going to take a guess that this is the train in question. Some might say, hang on, where's my notes? Excuse me, can you... the pandemic is still a thing, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, let's go over here. That's the rest of my note. Yes, they're driving a very special train. Well, yeah, I've never driven an Amtrak train before. Some might say a very presidential train. Oh, so you're telling me I've woken up in New York somehow, and now I've got to drive a train with Donald Trump on it? I'd rather stick rusty nails into my own eyeballs than drive a train for that stupid, annoying gitsmith of a... Wait a minute. It says here, oh, by the way, we think you'll like Joe Biden. This is one of his favourite trains. Wait, did I sleep through the presidential election? Blimey, I've got a lot of catching up to do. Let's get going. Yes, hello, people of the internet. And after what feels like an absolute eternity, welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to another station, another mile. Yeah, I've been gone for a hot minute, haven't I? Forgive me for that. Like I said, that nap, which wasn't really a nap, I'll explain to you in a bit what that actually was, turned out to go on for quite a bit longer than I thought. And it's also meant that I'm now in America for some reason. We'll get onto that in a minute as well. So we're here today on a very special service. Not only is this the first American ASAM Plays video we're doing, this is the first time I've driven American outline rolling stock on this channel. Not only are we back in Train Sim World 1, rather than Train Sim World 2, we're back in old school Train Sim World 1 for various reasons that I'll explain in a bit. There's going to be a lot of I've got a lot of explaining to do in this video, as you know. But the long and short of it is this. We're at New Rochelle Station. This is a Siemens ACS-64 electric locomotive about to haul an Amtrak train. It's just past 7 in the morning local time. It's a brisk autumn day, well, a brisk autumn morning. And this train isn't just any old train. This is the President-elect of the United States. This is a train that the soon-to-be new President of the United States is rather quite a big fan of. Today, folks, I figured it'd be nice to take a little ride with Amtrak Joe. So let's go do that, shall we? Let's hop aboard and shut the door there. There's the through to the engines and everything for the locomotive and all that. We're not interested in that for the moment. We're interested in this big old control desk over here. I'm very impressed with this. I like this a lot. I have to say, I have played around with the NEC New York route before in Train Sim World and really enjoyed it. We could probably turn the cab light off. That would be a bit too much. We need to lock the doors as well, so we should do that. And let's just take a quick look around, shall we? I'm also making sure to remember that we're back in Train Sim World 1, not Train Sim World 2. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's our train ready to go. It's the best part of 8 coaches, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't quite see it. It's about 8 coaches, I think. And there is our locomotive. I really like this loco, I've got to say. Being built by Siemens means it is actually built to a very kind of European design. And maybe that's one reason I like it. It reminds me of the European and indeed British locos that I'm used to. But either way, I really like this. So we're going to get another screenshot of it. While we're already running the best part of 2 minutes down. So let's hop back in and actually get the show on the road, shall we? And I can actually finish explaining to you. Let's get back in the seat, and I can actually explain to you what we're doing today and why we're in New York driving an Amtrak train for the President-elect of the USA. Meantime, let's get things underway, shall we? Full automatic brake. Off. Take that off. Reverser in reverse. We don't need that. Reverser very much forward. Yes. And then master controller. 35. Oh, we're accelerating. Well, we are moving. We are moving. So that's a good start. I may have been gone for a while, but I haven't forgotten how trains work. I mean, that would be very inconvenient, I feel. If I was gone for such a long time, I actually forgot how trains work. There we are. We're departing. Whine of the electric traction motors. We're trundling out of New Rochelle station. I hope that's the way you pronounce it. I'm sure there will be some Americans in the chat being like, no, actually, it's New Rochelle. New Ferrero Rocher. Or it's only for British rail fans. It's the only British train nerds who are so precise about pronunciation. Also, we can go up to 35 miles an hour if we want to, which I shall, because you know me. Oh, and we'll have the window open. It's a bit of a chilly day, a bit of a chilly autumn morning, but, you know, fresh air first thing in the morning. It's nice and warm in the cab. I've got the heaters on, so it's all good. And that's a green signal up ahead, so we're good. We've got 15 miles to go until our first stop, which is at New York Penn station. And we've got quite the layover there, apparently. Also, it was the speed limit's actually 40 miles an hour, so we can coast up to that now. Or 45, actually. Never mind, we're coasting along at 40 for the moment. And I can explain a little bit more about why we are, where we are, driving the train, what we are driving right now. You see, I've mentioned a couple of times the President-elect of the United States, Joe Biden. Yeah, he kind of won that whole presidential election thing about a month or so ago. It only feels like yesterday. And to be honest, with the way Donald Trump's decided to behave in the most responsible and mature and sensible and diplomatic way to losing an election, i.e. he's thrown a massive tantrum and decided to burn everything to the ground rather than, you know, concede defeat. Who knows? Who knows what could happen next with that whole thing? He's already tried to sue every state that dared to vote not for him and demanded recounts elsewhere. Also, morning! That was Jerry, by the way. Yeah, no, he tried suing every state that he lost in, demanding recounts in the others, which just came back with the same result, that he lost them. So, it was President Trump. Did we think it was going to go any other way? But anyway, the upshot of it is this. It looks like, to all intents and purposes, in January 2021, we're going to have President Joe Biden taking the reins over in the US. Now, why does that matter to you and I? Well, it was only on, I would say, election night. It was kind of election night +3, whatever the results were finally confirmed, because it took so long to count all the postal votes and everything. It was around this time that I actually discovered something that I didn't know before about big old Joe Biden. He's actually quite the train enthusiast. He's quite the rail fan. And specifically, he has a connection to this very route that we're on right now. So, there's that little station platform there. Is that just... it just looks like some abandoned ways. I couldn't tell if that was a little, like, urban station platform just there. Let's give it a bit more speed. Meanwhile, we should be doing upwards of 100 miles an hour right now, so let's actually do that, shall we? So yeah, I discovered that President-elect Joe Biden has quite the connection to this very route that we're on right now, which is the Northeast Corridor, which is one of the many Amtrak routes in the United States on the East Coast over there. He actually used this route to commute to his work in the Senate for multiple decades, I believe. Starting with when he was sworn into the Senate. He's been basically, his commute to work in the US government was aboard a train on the Northeastern Corridor. Now, unfortunately, it isn't on the NEC New York route, which is modeled in Trains in World. I believe it was actually on the section between, I want to say Delaware, and then obviously Washington, D.C. So the train we're driving today actually started originally at Boston. So clearly we stayed overnight there to watch a Celtics game. And now we're on our way, and this train is originally scheduled to terminate in Washington, D.C. But we'll be driving it as far as Newark Liberty today. So We're going through another green signal. Oh, it's not. Now it's a red signal. Now it's a red signal. And now we're very much speeding. We're very much speeding. Can we start slowing down now? Can we start slowing down now? Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm slightly rusty at this. I'm not going to lie. There we go. There we go. We're good. Relax. We're fine. I would use the excuse that I'm rusty, but you know me. I like trains. Doesn't mean I can drive them properly. But yeah, I decided it would be a fun little video to do a little. I don't know, a little. It's the first time I've never done a video on this route before, and now the speed limit's gone back up over 60. So thanks. I've never done a video on this route before, and I explained earlier that we're having to go back to Train Sim World 1 to play this. That's because this may be the only time we do a video on this route on my channel, because it looks set to be left behind in Train Sim World 1. Now, obviously with Train Sim World 2, pretty much all of the routes from Train Sim World 1, including all the DLC packs and things, are available for Train Sim World 2. They've been ported over if you have the original version. So if you have, for example, like Train Sim World 1 on PS4, and then you get Train Sim World 2 on PS4, you can... Thanks. I wasn't expecting to be slapped in the face by a tree on my train drive to work today. But yeah, you can... If you have the game on PS4, if you have Train Sim World 2 on PS4, and you had Train Sim World 1 on PS4 as well, you can download all of the routes and stuff that you had, all of your DLC in that, for the first game for free. Annoyingly, I'm in the situation where I've got Train Sim World 1 on PS4 and Train Sim World 2 on PC, which annoyingly means I have to rebuy all the routes that I had for Train Sim World 1, but I'm sure I'll get around to that at some point. So, annoyingly, the only route that doesn't look like it's going to get ported over is this one, the NEC New York. Now, I've got no idea as to the case. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't really know what is the case. I want to say, maybe I heard about this. Maybe this was something that was said around the time Train Sim World 2 launched and this was being discussed. I want to say it may have been a licensing issue. Maybe they didn't get the license for the Amtrak license again. So, you know, maybe it was something like that. I'm used to that from the racing game world. It's just annoying, really. But whether it was because of that or because of something else, this route looks set to basically be left behind in Train Sim World 1, which kind of sucks, because I really like this route, to be honest. I really enjoyed this one when I first played Train Sim World 1. I really like this locomotive, the ACS-64 loco. It's very, very cool. I like this route in general. It's nice. Has a kind of mix of like urban express, plus the other thing is there's a lot of freight work on this route as well. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of interesting things. We've still got just over 10 miles to go, and we can sit at 70 miles an hour. Going through another yellow signal. I'm also wary of the fact that, okay, we're just on the edge of a yellow signal. So every time we pass through a signal, the next one is yellow for about 5 or 10 seconds and then goes green again. So I feel like there's something further up the line that we might be following, but we're not that close to yet. Oh, there we go. I was just wondering, I was like, why is the brake not coming on? There we go. There we go. Need to give it a few button presses there. But, yeah, it's kind of a shame it's going to be left behind in the first game. So I figured if we were going to do this funky little video today, riding with Amtrak Joe, and yes, that was an actual nickname that he was given because of his affinity to Amtrak and the fact that he's an actual rail enthusiast. There is actually pictures of him checking out these locomotives when they were first launched back in 2014, when he was, at the time, Vice President to President Barack Obama. There are actually pictures of him, like on a press tour or whatever, being shown around these new locomotives, sitting in the cab and checking everything out and having a good old train nerd out, but also being like, oh yeah, this is great for American travel, and which it is, of course, but knowing him deep down, it was like, it's a cool train. So I have this headcanon now that Joe Biden is a full-on train nerd. Like, I genuinely love to think, I really love to think, that the first thing he'll do once Trump finally gets dragged kicking and screaming out of the Oval Office and Biden moves in, the first thing he's going to do is just look around and go, gee, do you know what? You can fit a hell of a layout in here. We've got plenty of room for a modern railroad in here, lads. Let's see. Let's boot up the what is it? SCARM, the plan. Any rail. Let's boot up any rail and get planning a nice sort of big old railroad layout, big old switching layout. Maybe he can model his old commute route, Delaware to Washington D.C. He could do that. Maybe not all in the Oval Office. Might need a few more rooms of the White House to fit it in to scale. Imagine that. Just press briefings in the other, is it the West Wing? I know about American politics. Shut up. Yeah, it's just like through to the West Wing, and it's like, oh, by the way, ignore that. That's just the president's train set. And then a little N-gauge model Amtrak train just trundles through. I'm making it sound like he's going to set up like a Wallace and Gromit arrangement in the White House. He'll get like morning memos and breakfast delivered to the Oval Office on the back of some like wagons on a little freight train. This headcanon is spiraling out of control quickly. So let's bring it back to base. Let's bring it back to some form of normality. And have a sip of tea first up. Because I may not be in Britain right now, but I've still got my British tea, damn it. There we go. I know you Americans, you Yanks, poured a load of tea in the sea or something to be like, yeah, we're independent from you. But, you know, teenagers do silly things when they're rebelling against their parents, all right? I forgive you for that. Also, this is, let me just check on the little map I've got over here. That, I believe, would be Hunts Point Yard. We'll go over there. That's one of the many freight operations you've got on this route. With the GPX-38 locomotive, I want to say. I think. Please do correct me in the comments, because I don't think I've got that one right. But hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, you know, leave it to me to reintroduce tea to America. Let's be honest. Looks like a little signal box over there. Looks like a very British little signal box. So we've got all the warm up out the way, I guess. Oh, there's one of the locals I was just talking about. It's one of them. It's one of them, all right. So there you go. Oh, we're going up a slight incline now, so just going to give a little bit of power. Although we are supposed to be slowing down to 40 in a minute anyway, so we may as well coast up this hill and slow down rather naturally. Looks like we're going over the yard. And while we're doing that, we've got all of the interesting stuff out of the way for this. Well, almost makes me sound like I'm just like, everything interesting. This video's over now. You may as well stop watching. What I should say is, it's about time I told you where the hell I really have been the last almost 2 months. And we're still speeding. Look, I tried slowing down, all right? I tried being all like PTG rail, or like squirrel, trying to show some actual driving techers. Anyway, speed limit's going back up to 50 in a minute, so we've still got 5.3 miles to New York Penn, which is we're due to get to for 7:26. So 5.2 miles in best part 10 minutes or so, just under 10 minutes. So we should make it, hopefully. Be a bit embarrassing if President-elect Biden was actually on this train. It's just like, who is this donkey? Who is this donkey driving our presidential train? And his like chief of staff are like, sir, it's some limey, it's some Brit. We don't know. He just really likes trains, all right. Meantime, oh look at that! Look at that for a view. There's all like basketball courts and stuff over there. I choose to believe they're basketball courts. Oh, that's a nice view. Once again, one of the great things about Trains in World 1, one of the things I genuinely really like about this game, on show here, the lighting. I genuinely really like the lighting in this game. Right, I'm just going to time it. There we go. One of the cantineries, I was like, one of the cantinery poles kept getting in the way as I was trying to get a screenshot. That's a nice view. Oh, look at this bridge we got over here as well. That is awesome. By the way, this is very much going to be like my German, the last video I did, Köln to Aachen, the German video. I do not have local knowledge whatsoever, so I'm going to leave it up to more knowledgeable people in the comments to explain to me what all of these, the names of these bridges are, these locations and everything. I'm literally just being a tourist right now. I'm just sightseeing. I'm like, wow, look at that. That's a pretty bridge. Yay. So, in amongst that, I did say I would explain to you where the hell I actually have been for the best part of the last 2 months. That is a gorgeous sunrise. Right, stop being distracted. Adam, stop it. Stop being distracted, man. We have some serious stuff to talk about. Well, semi-serious. I just wanted, for the sake of transparency, I do want to explain to you where the hell I have been for the best part of the last 2 months. The answer is, for the most part, in bed, very, very depressed. I'm trying to be lighthearted about it, but yeah, the past 2 months have been pretty grim. At the start of October, coincidentally, around the time I last uploaded on this channel, I set various things triggered off a really bad depression episode for me. And, we're just going downhill a little bit, so I'm just going to put the brake on a tiny bit, just to make sure we don't run speeding out of control. So, yeah, in early October, various things combined to trigger a huge depression episode for me. Bearing in mind, this was about a month away before this country formally went back into a full lockdown, having sort of been in a semi-lockdown, but not really, and then a Tier 2 lockdown and a Tier 1 lockdown and something else, but it wasn't actually a lockdown and no one paid attention to it anyway, and Boris just blithering around being like, well, yes, but no. But, well, yes, but actually no, and blah. So it was around that time that the tiered lockdown system came in, and I realised it would still be months and months away. Basically, it all got to me at one point, and it triggered a big depression episode. But the thing is, I've been living on and off with depression and anxiety. You know, I'm fairly open and transparent about my mental health, or at least I try to be. But normally, when I have a depression episode of that severity, it sort of goes away within 1 or 2 weeks, or I kind of return to a sort of state of equilibrium, if that makes sense. But this one just kept going, and it was more debilitating than any episode I've had before in my life. Genuinely, I was barely getting out of bed all day, day after day, barely getting out of bed, oversleeping, and then also not sleeping at all, barely showering, barely functioning, barely able to human, really, which is the most scary part. Especially when you see other people when you see on social media, obviously social media is a reflection of perfection from everyone else, you know, so it's not accurate to anyone's real life, really. It's the perfected version of someone's real life. So I'm just paying attention there because there's more amber signals there. We're going down a slight gradient. Looks like we're okay. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, when you see other people managing to, you know, all these, like, you know, it was the joke of the first lockdown, like, oh, you know, if you haven't come out of lockdown having learnt 3 new languages and 5 new skills, what have you been doing, M9? Well, this time around, the reason I haven't done any of those things is depression, because getting out of bed and having a shower was enough to take up all my energy for a day, which obviously then meant that I was in no fit state of mind. I couldn't even bear to sit down and make videos and edit or anything. I didn't stream any on my Twitch channel, my other kind of side venture, AJ Autosport. I didn't do anything. And the most stark kind of visual analogy that I can tell you about to just show you how horrible this all was, I have this content calendar. It's like a sort of Excel spreadsheet that shows what I'm doing each week, what videos are going out, what I'm going to be streaming, whatever. It's been empty for the best part of 7 weeks, probably 8 weeks. I think this would be week 8 if we hadn't been uploading this. That is one of the biggest periods I can think of where I've just been and it just staring at me. It's like, it's not because I've been away, I've not been on holiday or anything. I've literally just not been able to function and not been able to do anything. And that's really scary. That is, not only is it obviously really sad and really horrible, because obviously depression in itself is a horrible thing. It sucks the joy and the fun out of... I like to think of my depression, you know, there's the analogy of it being a black dog. I don't think that's technically right. I think it's a dementor. Many of you have read the Harry Potter books. Sans the horrifically transphobic author, but we don't need to discuss her anymore. You know, trust the what's the phrase? Trust the tale, not the teller. But any of you know, in those books, there's the characters called the Dementors, which basically kind of suck your soul out through your face. That's kind of a simple summary of it, but you know, I feel like my depression is kind of like that. It's kind of like a Dementor. It really, like, I couldn't bear to make videos. I couldn't bear to stream. I was barely interested in sport, in motorsport, which is normally one of my biggest passions. couldn't care less about trains. Couldn't do, just anything that normally gave me some kind of joy in life was just gone. Nothing did. You know, I literally felt like I was just existing. If I did wake up, it was almost like my body went, well, what's the point in having energy? What are you going to do with it? What's the point? You're just going to exist for a bit and then go back to bed again. You know, it's just this horrible self-perpetuating cycle. And of course, what then happens for someone like me, so I'm just very wary. I saw some red lights there. Oh, are we going into... I feel like we might be on approach to New York Penn, and we've also got some yellow signals. So I'm just going to cut off for a moment and concentrate on what's going on here. Minimum application on the brake. There's more red signals there, so I'm a little bit concerned we're going to go through one of these yellows and suddenly get a red signal. Gotta say as well, shout out to the brakes on this thing. Multiple times we've been going down steep gradients and just putting minimum application brakes on, we've been really slowing down a lot. So, okay, now, right, now I think we're heading into the tunnels, taking us straight into New York Penn. Because weirdly, I think I've only ever driven this route the other way, starting at the other end and finishing at New Rochelle. So I know that these tunnels, it's very similar at the other side. If you're coming into New York Penn Station, it's very similar at the other side. And I've got to say, having driven trains on this route before, it's really made me want to check out New York Penn Station and most of this route, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on the top right there, because obviously there's, you know, yellow signal at the moment. That could go to red at any moment. And, of course, in 2 miles, we've got to have a dramatic... In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Just put on minimum application brakes. There we go. We'll start slowing down now anyway. May as well. I can see a distant light at the end of the tunnel. All of a sudden, this video has become a very literal analogy for my depression. I didn't intend it to be, but here we are. We're going along. Still going downhill, okay. Still going downhill. Okay, I think we can let the brakes off now. Just coast a bit. The gradient's not quite steep, but ironic that we're in a tunnel and straining to see the light at the end of it, because, cliche or not, that is a very stark way of how it feels to live with depression, and it's very much where I've been for the last seven weeks. It's horrible. Honestly, it's horrible. And as I was about to say, one of the bits that makes it all even worse is if you're like me, relying on being a content creator, relying on stuff that I make to, you know, do anything or earn any money or whatever. That's doubly scary because you feel like a double failure, basically. It's like, well, why are people going to pay attention to you if you're not uploading any videos anymore? Wow, great, okay. There's all that growth on your channel. There was all those nice comments. There you go. And now you just vanished. Great, okay, well, they'll move on to someone else. Which hasn't been the case. You've all been very lovely at the times I've been, you know, I posted an update the other day on my YouTube channel in the community tab. And the responses so far have been very, very sweet. Thank you all so much. I appreciate the support more than I can ever express in words. But that is what your brain does. In my experience, the depression dementor, we'll call it, has a very toxic way of... Oh, I've just realised we're going uphill now. Hang on a minute. Let's give it a bit of power, shall we? There you go. Okay. Still got to slow down to 15 miles an hour in a minute anyway. We're going to be a little bit late getting into New York Penn, but you know what? That's all right. It's fine. I'm doing my best out here, all right? Sorry, President Biden, who's clearly on this train. No, I really hope he isn't, to be honest with you. I really hope he isn't. But, what was I just saying? That's another thing that's been bad for me lately. Short-term memory. Oh my God, I've been so badly forgetful. So really disgracefully forgetful lately. Like, I'll literally be like, right, okay, need to do a thing. I need to check something on my phone. Looks at my phone. What was I supposed to be checking on here? Like, literally within 2 seconds, I've completely forgotten where my brain was going. And that's just because of the, like, suffocating fog. That's another big thing I get with bad depression episodes is brain fog. So just, I can't think of anything. I can't process anything. People will tell something to me and I'm like, okay, it just sort of bounced off my skull. It didn't go in. It's like, trains, you like trains, don't you? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I did. I've also realised we've slowed down way too early for the 15 mile an hour marker, so we've put ourselves later than we need to be. Okay, screw it. Let's give it a little bit of speed. We're going uphill. Come on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. We can start slowing down again at like the 300-yard mark. Oh, we're still on yellow signals. That's, AJ, that is a reason why you were taking it nice and slow, wasn't it? But the next one's green signal, so we're okay. We are okay. But, yeah, the suffocating brain fog, just the constant, like... It's not even... I want to say it's a sadness, and sometimes it would manifest in an extreme sadness. But other days it would just be like a sort of numbness. Just a sort of like, what are we doing here? What am I doing here? You know, why bother with anything? Ooh, hello. We're coming into the station throat. Oh, we need to slow down a bit more. We need to slow down a bit more. We need to slow down a bit more. Are we going to hit it? Just about. Just about. We'll take it. There we go. Let's trundle nice and slowly into the station. We're into New York Penn Station. I remember the first time I rode into here, or I drove a train into here. It was wild. It was an experience. It felt like an epic sort of underground station. And I'm not used to driving on the... I was about to make a joke about sitting on the wrong side, you know, because in the same, you know, Americans drive cars on the left side of the right side of the... I don't even know what I'm talking about. Basically, I completely spaffed that attempt at a funny up the wall, so let's just ignore it, shall we? And focus on getting our train stopped. We're right on the speed limit. We're just trundling in here. We're going to be about 4 minutes late. Yeah, sorry. I'll speed up for the second leg. I won't be rambling on about how crap depression is. Spoiler alert, it very much is. So, let's just trundle up here. Let's put the brake on. Start slowing down a little bit. Little bit. Little bit. Little bit. Inch it in. There you go. Slowly, slowly. Slowly. We missed it, didn't we? We missed it. By 7 yards. God dang it. Alright, inch forward. Inch forward. Inch forward. And then... How about now? God. I'm a bit rusty, alright? Well, this is very pedantic, I must say. Come up. There we go. Right. 1/2 mile an hour. And 1 yard. Okay, I would say we're there now. It's not letting me have it. Let me have the thing. Oh, hang on, you need to wait until the brakes are off. Okay. There we go. Go, now we're 5 minutes down. Thanks for that. Anyway, let's hop out the train briefly while we wait for everyone to get on. And take a look around New York Penn Station. Look at this place. There's not many trains in it at the moment. It kind of reminds me of... I don't know what, like... Because I want to say, like, the sort of underground or under a closed roof kind of stations of the UK, like a, you know, more epic version of Liverpool Street, or maybe the more obvious one is, like, Euston. But I'm trying to think of stations that are almost entirely underground like this one, that are this, like, epic and this grandiose. Maybe, like, Birmingham New Street, but even then that's not undercover. Like, there's parts that I think the station throat is out in the open. So I'm trying to think of what sort of comparisons you can make. It's a pretty interesting station, I've got to say. So let's have a little wander around, shall we? And just confirmation, we are at Penn Station, yep. And passengers are slowly getting on. Employee use only. Okay, and there's our train. There it is. Let's get some more pictures of it, shall we? Because clearly I carry like a... Well, we all carry cameras with us these days, AJ. They're called phones. But clearly my big thing as a train driver is just like, oh, look, my train looks good today. And another one. There you go. Big lights on. Yeah, it looks good. I like I say, I like this loco a lot. I even toyed with an idea of getting a model of one of these in N-gauge, and just having it on my layout, but finding a reason for it to run, because my layout would very much not be electrified. Spoiler alert, it's not going to have overhead wires. So how the hell's this thing going to run? I've got no idea. Maybe a small diesel motor was put in some of them, like a Class 88 or something. Or maybe it can be towed at the back of a train, but it's also powering a train. Something. I'll think about it, and at the very end of the day, it's a model railway. Rule 1 does apply. So there's that. No! Calm down. I'm just having a walk. It's fine. People are still getting on. Well, that's the point. We can go check out the coaches. It's a very nice... I don't know the name of this coaching stock, but it's very nice. Very sleek. The only problem is, in this set, it was clearly designed for a different locomotive. It has that older style, like, tumble home, I guess you'd say. Like that sort of sleek streamliner look, which doesn't fit with this. Do you see what I mean? It's just like flat side, very European design, smaller height, and kind of wider edges. Anyway, let's have a look inside. Like slidey door there, and have a look through. And some seats, you know, all fairly standard. We're apparently in business class right now. There's the restroom, or the toilet, as us Brits know it. Well, this is pretty good, I've got to say. Early morning on a weekday in New York City, and everyone observing social distancing. There you go, look. 2 clear rows of seats. Okay, they're a bit close together. And you are sitting in the aisle, by the way, so, yeah. Luckily, I remembered my mask and my bottle of hand sanitizer. There's more humans. Ah. That's one thing for me about this That's the door to the front of the coach. Whoops. That's one thing for me about this global pandemic. I feel like I've been training for it in some ways my entire life, because I don't like other people. I don't like crowds. I've become very good at getting myself out of busy situations and avoiding close contact with other humans and strangers. I feel like I've been training my entire life for this moment. As the Phil Collins song says, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. I'd have just preferred if it wasn't such a massively devastating global pandemic. And if anyone wants to pop up in the comments saying about blah blah, we don't need masks, it's all a conspiracy, blah, 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 then save yourself the bother and just delete yourself from my channel immediately before I do it for you. Trust me, with how sick and how horrendous... Game! It's fine! I'm letting people get on the train. You warned me about an extended layover here. It's okay, I'm just having a walk. Just stretching my legs. Then getting another photo of me train, because why not? Anyway, fine, I guess I'll get back aboard the train. But yeah, in the current... I just wish it wasn't such a hugely devastating global pandemic, and I'm really not in the mood with the amount it's impacted on my mental health and the mental health of everyone I know, and the physical health of people I know, and my families and my family and elderly relatives and people like that. I am... My patience for anti-maskers or the conspiracy baloney brigade ran out about a week into the first lockdown, if I had any to begin with. So there you go. Anyway, I think we're just about ready to depart. We've just got the signals to lock the doors, so let's do that. Stop at location Newark, Penn, which I think will be our final destination. So, doors are locked, that's good. Take the brake off. Oh no, that's... Oh, whoops, that's... It's not how the brakes work, AJ. Right, reverse is still forward. Can we put the throttle on? Oh, hello, no. Okay, I'll panic for a moment there. I did panic for a moment there. Here we go. Right. Let's give it the beans. I did panic for a moment there because it, like, I pushed the throttle, I pulled the throttle lever, and the power meter, or the sort of ampometer, I guess you'd call it. Some electricians in the comments are just like ripping their hair out at this point, including my own friend Nathan, who is an electrician by trade. He's just gonna be like, "Wow, I might joke to you," but anyway, showing how much power, much electrical power we've got. It was stuck on 0 for a few seconds after I pressed the throttle control down. and I thought it had done that thing where it won't let you have to do like a full reset of the board, of the like control desk after having hit the emergency brake, but fortunately that was not the case. So, trundling out the other side of New York Penn, not Newark Penn, that's where we're going, confusingly enough. Look at this. Oh, look at this. Very moody and atmospheric. There you go, let's get a quick screenshot of that, but we are in the mouth of a very busy station, so I am very wary of of any signals and things like that. Now, if I remember rightly, I mean, it was downhill for a bit and then up a bit coming into the station from that side. If I remember rightly, the descent into the station from this side on this approach to New York Penn Station is very, very downhill. So, although we are now going downhill right now. Do you know what? Hang on a sec. I wonder. You see, I remember when I did the Glasgow subway episode of Another Station on the Mile, which incidentally should hopefully be coming back. The rest of Season 3 should be on the way very shortly. Thank you for your patience on that one. But yeah, when I did the Glasgow subway episode, I remember reading about, and some people told me about, how originally the stations on the subway were built to have like little gradients, so they'd go subtly uphill in the direction of a train coming into a station, and that was just a little safety feature to help them slow down coming into a station. Ooh, we can go up to 60 miles an hour if we want. And there's no signal controls anywhere, so let's give it the beans. Let's go. Speed. 2.5 miles to a 90 mile an hour limit. If the next signal thing suddenly flashes up out of nowhere and it's a red, I'm gonna cank my pants slightly. Here we go. Yeah, so it took me a moment to remember what I was talking about. I'm very good. You've probably noticed this. I'm very good at just completely going off on tangents and forgetting what I was talking about. So, yeah, when we did the Glasgow subway episode, I remember reading about how there was a design thing in there where they'd slightly gradient the approach tracks into each station to help to... Did the tunnel just disappear for a moment? Someone insert the X-Files music. The next signals are green in 2.5 miles. Okay, we're good. Righto. We can go up to 60 miles an hour for the moment. So let's step on it, shall we? Let's get a move on. We've got some time to make up. Well, quite a lot, given that we need to be at Newark Penn, which is 8 miles away, in 4 minutes. So we better step on it. But yeah, I was just thinking, because obviously both ways into the station, now we're going uphill out of the station. I wonder if New York Penn was designed in a similar way. The approach tracks into the station are steeply downhill, so they go uphill slightly just before the station throat. Maybe to help just slow down trains a little bit extra. I wonder if I'm talking complete honk, or if I am onto something, do let me know in the comments. Like I say, US railways, really not my area of knowledge. So I'm just here as a fascinated observer, a fascinated tourist. Oh, I see lights at the end of the tunnel. Hey, there we go. We're above ground. Oh, no, we're not. Wait a minute, no, we're not. Some strange things happening in this tunnel. Are we doomed to be in this tunnel forever? Soon we will be free. Soon we will be free of the tyranny of this never-ending tunnel. It's like an oasis. It keeps being like, no, trust me, the light at the end of the tunnel's up here. Oh, no, it isn't. Psych, there's more tunnel. It is very much like a literal metaphor for depression. And thankfully, I am, just to put a full stop on that, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's pretty dim, but it is there. It is there, and that's more than can be said for the last few weeks, which is lovely. I just started a fresh round of therapy, talking therapy this past week. Weekly sessions are booked in for, which is great, which is really awesome. I thought I'd be on the waiting list for a lot longer, just because I know how long the waiting lists are. And is this the end of? Is this the light at the end of the tunnel properly? Is it? Is it? Yes. There we go. We're out the other side, and on our way, charging towards Newark Penn. Oh, but first we've got another bridge. Oh, the speed limit's just gone up to 90. Oh dear. I think I'll resist, in a rare moment of self-discipline for me. I will resist whacking the speed up. There we go, 2.5 miles back to 60 miles an hour. Okay. Plus, I was going to wait until after this next signal, just in case the next one, like, I just slammed it into full throttle, and it immediately threw up a red signal. So, we'll see. We're on the straight and narrow right now, so we can basically coast. And what's the next signal doing? Next signal's fine. There we go. Actually, while we're here. Ooh, another nice little camera angle right there. Very nice. Ooh, ooh, yes, yes, yes. There we go. Now, this is advanced level photography. This selfie stick is very good. I'm actually just piloting a drone while I'm at the seat of the... while I'm in the cab of the loco. I'm simultaneously piloting the loco and taking pictures on my drone. And one from this side with the sunlight on it. And this is probably the better angle because you've got less HUD elements in it. So, there you go. One of these you'll end up seeing as the thumbnail for the finished video. Which one remains to be seen. Meantime, you know what? We've got time to make up. We're going to be late anyway. We're supposed to be at Newark, Penn in 51 seconds. So, and we're still 5.5 miles away. So do you know what? Let's make up speed where we can. I've cranked the throttle to max, and then we'll just whack the brake on a bit to back us back to 60 miles an hour in just over a mile's time. We've got a station up here. What station will this be? I would assume... good question. Is that Harrison, maybe? No. Secaucus Junction. I just saw an S on one of the station signs. So I'm going to say that's Secaucus Junction. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that. I'm very sorry. All right, come on. Can we reach 90 miles an hour before we have to slow down? Can we? We're at 86. 86, 87. 87. Ah, we're under 500 yards before we need to slow down. Right, brakes, brakes, brakes. Back it down. Back it down. Back it down, lads. Please. Oh, we just got there. Almost. Almost. You know what? For me, that wasn't bad. Oh, what a lovely view. Ooh. Yes, yes, yes. Right, trees, can you get out of the way? Try and take a nice picture here. Do you mind? That's a stunning picture as well. Oh, there's some beautiful scenery on this route, I've got to say. It's part of the reason I'm sad that this one won't be in Train Sim World 2 with the improved graphics technology and everything. Or onto next gen or on PC and everything. It's a shame because this route has a lot to offer. I really like it. Anyway, Tron 55. Play an impromptu guessing game in the comments right now. Pause the video. Don't skip to the end and spoil it. But pause the video and speculate on how late you think we're going to be to Newark, Penn. We've got 3.5 miles to go. We should have been there a minute ago. Alright, so we've got... I think we should be going through maybe Hudson Yard shortly. And then Harrison Station, I think. I've just realised as well, the station I'm thinking about where we would have stopped, or unless we have to stop at Newark, Penn and then go on to Newark International Airport. Newark International Airport is where I've started this route before from the other end, if that makes sense. Oh. A little bit of brakes. A little bit of brakes. There you go. We've got 2 miles, and then we'll be down at 45 miles an hour. And what a lovely morning this is. What a lovely autumn morning. We've got the windows down. We've got it's a little bit bracing, the breeze. But, you know, it's a very pleasant morning overall, got to say. And there's one of our colleagues trundling through. Still got some lovely views over this river. There you go. Very nice. Very nice. We could go back to 90 miles. It's like the speed limits are trying to screw with you in this section. You suddenly look down at the speedometer. It's like, you can go 90 miles an hour. No, you need to go 60. But you could go 90 miles an hour. No, you need to be doing 60. And in 1.4 miles, we need to be doing 45. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of brake on here. Newark Penn is 2.1 miles away. That looks like a bit of track bed that would have once, or maybe was in the works to be extended into something. It definitely looked like there was like a turnout to be built. You know, the track bed had a sort of, because we're elevated at the moment, the track bed had a sort of change in direction there with no tracks and then just a fence. So it looked like there would be, you know, some sort of extension or a line running off that at some point. So, right. Yeah, the brakes on this thing are pretty dang good, I've got to say. There's a plane coming in. Presumably, I'm going to take a guess here. Presumably, that's coming in to land at Newark International Airport. I'm just going to speculate on that one. Ah, this looks like the Hudson Yard I was discussing earlier. No, hang on. I got fooled again. I looked at the speedo and was like, oh, we could do 60. And then I was like, no, wait, we haven't hit the 45 yet. Calm down. Calm down. You good. You good. Can at least get back up to 45 miles an hour anyway. We can do that. I'm very much the casual train driver. You don't get aboard my train to get to work on time. You get aboard my train to hear me whittering on about local knowledge or just being like, ooh, that's pretty. Alright, we're nearly at 45. We're nearly at the 45 zone. The 45 mile an hour speed limit. Just taking a sip of water because, rather tragically, I suspect my tea's gone cold. And it's weird how I like hot tea, but cold tea makes me want to puke. It is horrible. It makes me retch. I am instantly suspicious of people. I will judge you if you're like, no, I like drinking cold tea. I'm like, no. You may as well have just said to me, I like drinking cold sick. Ooh, that'd be Harrison then. That'd be Harrison Station. And then, oh, we're coming up on Newark Penn very shortly. Newark Penn's just up here. Okay. Righto. Oh, just let it coast in then, shall we? Now, I'm assuming we go on to Newark International Airport. Because I thought this was a full run of this route. But I can't remember if it said that the final destination was actually Newark Penn. So, time to find out. There is only one way to find out. And we're supposed to be stopping up here, so I should probably bonk the brake on a little bit. Should bonk the brake on. Ah, this is the other station I was trying to remember up here. I believe when I did a run starting at Newark International Airport on this game, I once drove straight through here without realising I was supposed to stop at it. Well, that might have been Harrison. It was one of the stops before New York Penn coming this way. And are we going to stop? Are we going to stop? There you go. Unlock the right side doors. There we go. Load the passengers. Hop out for a quickly stretch my legs. And in the end, if you said, yeah, we'll round up to 6 minutes. If you said I would be 6 minutes late to Newark Penn, you are a winner. Give yourself an internet cookie. And there you go. We've got a notice board over here. Please do not hold the doors. Yeah. Don't run. The next train will be along soon. Not if I'm driving it, it won't. Trash is an issue. I mean, it really is. Filthy people. A ticket machine over here. Apparently I'm hungover. I'm like, I can't read that. I've not got my glasses on. I like the fact that my default there for my brain was like, you can't read it because you're coming off of a booze up. Not, you just forgot your glasses. Right. Anyway, let's hop back aboard and see if we do have one final leg of this journey. So, lock the right side doors. Stop at location, Newark Liberty International Airport. There you go. I thought so. Right. We were supposed to be there a minute ago. Okay. Right then. Well, let's see if we can see if we can at least make some time back. We came into Newark Penn 6 minutes down. Can we make up a minute in 2.5 miles? There is truly one way to find out. So we've got a starting speed limit of 35 miles an hour out of the station. So, yeah, enough of that coasting along, enough of that trundling along, having a chilled natter with you all from earlier in the run. It's going to be flat out to the final For the final 2.5 miles, this is going to be pedal to the metal stuff. Or lever to the control desk. We are actually speeding already. But now we can coast. In 100 yards, we'll be able to go up to 70 miles an hour. And when I say we'll be able to go up to 70 miles an hour, I mean we will go up to 70 miles an hour. Even if it's only for 1 mile. Away we go! Well, we haven't cleared the points. We haven't cleared the points. Calm down, AJ. Calm down. There we go. Just back it down. There you go. Right, away we go! We've got 0.9 miles to do 70 miles an hour before we have to slow down again. Oh boy, are we going to try it? Hell yeah we are, you know we are. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near it. In fact, we've barely cleared 40 miles an hour, which is the next speed limit anyway. 1.7 miles. Now up to 50 miles an hour. Definitely got half a mile to the next signal. Okay. Ooh. Oh, we're starting to pick up speed now. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Oh, there's a yellow signal as well. Oh, it's all happening. It's all happening. Oh, I think we're going to back off at 61 miles an hour. We're going to back it down at 61 miles an hour. Come on, back it down. We've also got yellow signals. I'm a little bit wary of that because one of them, basically, you know, if you don't know already, the whole point of yellow signals on a railway is be prepared to slow down at any moment because there might be something on the line ahead or something in the way. Just don't be doing top speed when you might have to slow down at a moment's notice, all right? And then there's me being like, speed! Oh, yep, there you go. Told you. Now, that red signal could clear. We've got 1.5 miles, 1.2 miles. And, in fact, the station is a mile away. So that's just the red signal the other side of the station. Right, okay. We have to be doing 40 miles an hour anyway, so that's okay. But when you start getting consecutive yellows and you actually pass through them as yellow signals, rather than, you know, earlier in the run we had that thing where, don't tempt me to go 90 miles an hour this close to the station. Don't do that to me. You know part of me considered doing that. And then realised what an utterly stupid idea that would be. So, I was about to say something. Answers in the comments what I was on about. So, we're 0.6 miles, we're just over half a mile out from Newark Liberty International Airport. Are we going to have made up any time? No. Probably not. But, you know, 6 minutes down, that's fine. Hopefully it didn't mean anyone missed their flight. There's some people in the front coach anxiously checking their watches like, dang it! When do we need to be at the gate? 5 minutes ago. Oh no! Dang stupid British driver. It's now got out, word has now got out that some Brit is driving this American train. They're like, God dang it! Anyway, well, here's the stop for our station. It's up here. Let's put a little bit of brake on. There you go. Start backing it down into the station. As we arrive at our final destination on this rather pleasant little autumnal morning journey, we arrive into Newark Liberty International Airport Station. This will be the final stop on today's service. A little bit more brake, a little bit more brake, a little bit more brake. Is that too much brake? It was too much brake. It is very specific on this. It's like, no, you will stop in this exact marker here. You were an inch too short. Do it again, all right? No half measures. No, it will do around here. Amtrak don't settle for... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? All right, there we go. Right, now do you accept? There you go. Unlock the... That's the wrong button. Unlock the doors. There we go. Open the door, and we'll have a quick check around Newark Liberty International Airport. The terminals are over there, so sorry passengers, if any of you are running late for your flights, they're over there. Sorry about that. Hope you have a safe flight. And everyone else is actually on the train down to Washington, D.C., including, very obviously, President-elect Joe Biden. There's restrooms over here. I might need the loo after that. Maybe that cup of tea went through me. First cup of tea of the day. That goes through me pretty quick. It wakes me up. I need it. And, oh, blimey. Those are some bright main headlights. I swear I only set them to dim, which is quite funny. This is your dim setting, right? I'd hate to be stood in front of this train when it's on the full setting. Get another quick picture for, you know, for the gram, or rather for the tube. Not that one. There we go. And I think that'll be the end of the run. Yep, there it is. Okay. So, what was our total score in the end? No medals. You do not deserve a medal for that. I'm not cracking up. That was the thing in this game, wasn't it? Medals. Okay. Right. Return to free roam. Yeah, may as well. When's this train going to depart and head off? You can't drive the... No! Get off! We are going to take the President the rest of the way to Washington, D.C., not you. Alright, fine. I'm going over here to use the restroom. But anyway, as that train gets ready to continue on to its ultimate destination of Washington, D.C., it's time for me to conclude today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. It's been nice to get back into videos. Honestly, I've been looking forward to making videos again. It sucked not being able to, or not feeling like I've been able to, not being in the right headspace to do them. It really does suck, especially if you're someone like me that really puts a big sort of cachet on my productivity and my creativity. If I'm not able to produce anything or create anything, I'll just feel pretty useless, and what am I even bothering existing? Again, that's the depression dementor speaking. But, like I said to you, things are slowly on the up. There's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I'm feeling a little bit better about things. The fact that I am back to making videos is giving me additional energy, and the train is heading off. Train's departing. So, see you later, President Biden. See you later. Have a safe journey. Safe rest of your journey. You know, good luck in office. You can't be any worse than the last guy. Please. Please. I mean, he's a train nerd. He's got to be better. Just by default. But anyway, as that one heads off, what's left to do for me is to head over and brew up a fresh cup of tea. That's if I can find one around here. It'll probably be all coffee places. But I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys next time. I'll hopefully be back on Friday with the next episode in the current series, Another Station, Another Mile. Been a while between drinks, but I'm looking forward to getting back on it for you. It does feel good to be back. It does feel good. And to everyone who has checked in on me or just been leaving supporting comments recently and still been interacting with the channel, that's really lovely of you. Thank you all so much. I do appreciate that. I may as well mention here, by the way, that YouTube channel memberships are now available on the Another Station, Another Mile channel. For £1.99 a month, you can directly support the channel and everything that I do on it, including costs going towards, you know, traveling and filming and equipment and things like that. Don't worry, it won't be going on toy trains much. Not at all. No. I do make a series of videos involving model trains, so maybe the business... never mind. Anyway, it's there if you want to directly support the channel more than just relying on YouTube AdSense, which can be flaky at the best of times. It's there if you want it. Basically, it's kind of an alternative. If you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, which supports this, my streaming endeavors over on my AJ Autosport Twitch channel, and my general freelance writing and work and content creation, basically. But that's £3 a month to cover all the bases. If you're only here for this, that's absolutely fine, and you can support with YouTube memberships. You get little channel badges, which I'm working on. You'll be able to have custom emotes and little icons to use in comments and that, which will only be available to members. And you will have access to my AJ Can't Fail community Discord server, which originally was open to invite, but now it's closed just for Patreon backers. But it's only fair to open that up for YouTube members as well. So if you do want to support the channel that way, it is, like all of the monetary ways to support the channel, not mandatory whatsoever. Nothing will be gated off behind paywalls. I don't believe in that. That's why there's only one tier to the memberships and only one tier to my Patreon. Nothing will be gated off behind paywalls. No one will have like a pay to get more stuff. Oh, you're better than the regular plebs who aren't paying for the extra stuff. I don't want that. I've never been about that. I've very much taken the line of people like Jim Sterling who are just like, look, you know what? It's just a way for you to show your support each month. If you want, you'll get some little goodies here and there, like the Discord server and the channel badges and things like that. But it is absolutely not mandatory, and you won't be missing out on any of my videos if you can't do that. So there you go. TLDR, I'm back. Now I just need to get home from America. And I am at an airport, so let's go see if I can fly home. Yeah, wish me luck on that one with current travel restrictions, but hopefully I'll be able to make it back home by Friday and get you in the next episode of Another Station on the Mile. So until we meet again, I will see you guys soon along the way.